What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? This is Gangster Astrology and Rap Beef, and today we got a couple of things going on. One, we're gonna deal with this O51 Kiddo situation, and two, we're gonna deal with this THF TP situation. Uh, so with the O51 Kiddo, I want to play something because kind of gave the brother a, a warning of what type of energy that he had coming up. And I did it in a reaction to one of the songs by Tate Savage and Hard Body Lodux. So let's go with that one first. If I get this thing working right. Maybe. To November of 2024 to and some for some dates and stuff on both of these guys. But I'm gonna sit back on it for a minute. But what I will say for for the brother, right now is I say from all the way from this right here is speaking about Tay Savage energy. November to November of 2024 to August of 2025, that's when you most vulnerable, my baby. That's when you got squares, and that's when you got a lot of secret plots and everything that you got to make sure you preparing and protecting yourself from. As for the other kid, right. So at that time, I didn't want to say his name, but I said as for the other kid, meaning Kiddo, O51 Kiddo. And we have on deck Tay Savage. Somebody will do something, make a call for you while you lock type of guy. You know what I'm saying? So all of that's cap, which is
Mark in this car. You need say your
banging a girl or something like that, And what that simply mean is go with your gut, man. Go with what's real to you at that time. And regardless of how it end up, you will be able to look at yourself in the mirror, whether it's the mirror on this fit on I say from all the way
Here
from
we go.
November to November of 2024 to
Okay, that's still
August of
Tay Savage.
2025. That's when you most vulnerable, my baby. That's when you got squares, and that's when you got a lot of secret plots and everything that you got to make sure you preparing and protecting yourself from. As for the other kid,
This is
right.
O51 Kiddo.
Right now is a danger. Right now right now it's dangerous. Right now it's dangerous for you. From now all the way up to May of 2024.
Now
And
watch
I'm giving it
this.
to both of y'all. From May all the way to 2024 is dangerous for you, but it's most dangerous between February of 2024 and April of 2024. Y'all boys be easy and be careful. I told him between February and April of 2024. So 051 Kiddo got arrested apparently on the 9th of February. The moon was in Aquarius at the time, with him having a Scorpio sun sign that gave him a square. And so I put it out there. I said that was a dangerous time for him, and that meant that it was going to be heavy conflict that was coming his way. And so now, one thing that I want to touch on is a lot of people putting videos out there talking about he got beat up inside of the county jail and all of this and that, and that makes him the BIT, a biatch, a biatchy, or something like that. Let me tell y'all something, man. Anybody who ain't never lost a fight is somebody that ain't never fought enough. Mike Tyson didn't got his ass whooped before. Muhammad Ali didn't got his ass whooped before. Anybody, if you ain't never lost no fight, then that means that you really ain't you really ain't fought nobody that's a formidable opponent. Anybody that fights enough, sooner or later you're gonna run into an ass whooping. And here's another thing about the county jail. The county jail is different than the penitentiary, prison. In the county jail, depending on the different county jails, the only thing you might have is flip flops or sandals or something like that. You can't get your grip and things of that nature. It's a whole different thing. And a person to have a different type of fight in a county jail than they'll have inside a prison. In prison, you stand a greater chance of getting that steel put to your ass. In prison, it's a greater chance that you would get that steel put to your ass. And people talking about the size and all of this and that, man, y'all kill me with that. Okay, so what? He a small guy. So what? What that mean? You know, that don't mean nothing. Okay, yeah. In those circumstances, whatever happened, he probably on the short end of the stick. But once you get on the prison yard, that shit equalizer comes into effect right there. You got better property. You got your better shoes and stuff like that where you can go and do your thing and make it work. But then you also have a different environment. You got your tools and everything that you can work with, and everybody, every shooter ain't no fighter, but everybody that's really, a shooter, they shooting is different. Shooting is putting that work in, you know. Um, so yeah, just because a person lose a fight, that don't mean that they broad or something like that. They lost a fight. To me, as long as you fight back, then you don't win. Somebody might get the best of you, but that's that round. You I really didn't like seeing O51 Kiddo getting caught up like that. I wish he would have been moving smarter, and you would say, well, that's a tricky situation, because in his head and probably in reality, he got all kind of people that's looking to try to take his life. And so at what point do he say, okay, I'm with the peace thing now, so I'm not gonna have no weapons around me. Smarter would have been, you know, having somebody that got that stuff inside of their name, not having no stuff in your area of control. See, that's what you have. You have areas of control. It's not that when you get parole that you can't be around no guns. They can't be in your area of control. And the people that you parole to, they have to report that firearm, and the firearm's supposed to be up under a lock, depending on what state that you in. It's supposed to be up under a lock while you on parole. Basically to say so you ain't the one to have access to it. And if you own papers, the mistake a lot of people make is once they get on papers, they consider themselves free. And when they own papers for a little bit, they tend to get relaxed. But the thing to remember is when you own papers, you got to look at that as like a lower level of security. Even though you out in a free society and all of that, when you own paper, you still, that's your tether. Your paper is your tether. Your parole is your tether. So you still have to look at it like You a part of that system, and you just in a lower level of security. And that's the way that you navigate in order to get off of papers, because you still got that tail. And as long as you got that tail, then they can continue to play with you and play with you. You got to give them that little time that you got on papers to get off of it. Why? Because if you ever do catch a case, now you ain't got to worry about having that hold, that parole hold. When you got that parole hold, it places you in a dog fight, you know. And yeah, so I thought that it was a potential. I thought that the brother was coming around. Um, he started becoming susceptible to pushing the peace thing and all of that, you know. So I really wanted to see him win. I really wanted to see Tay Savage win. I wanted to see both of those young brothers make a difference. You know, we got all kind of bombs and shit dropping all around us right now. Yeah, and for those people that yeah, we gonna get to that too, but we got all kind of bombs dropping all around us right now. The governmental state is in disarray. I mean, we're moving on a stage or on a level where we really ain't too far away from a civil unrest. You know, it's all kind of crazy stuff going on. You know, Marcus Garvey said, when your enemies are at war, you know, use that time to gather the spoils of war. Instead of warring with each other, you know, it's imperative that we find that common bond, that common bond and that common link. And so, but I can't tell, you know, up under the 13th, slavery has been abolished except for those that have been duly convicted of a felony. In other words, anybody with a felony is their political tag is really a slave that are being indentured servitude. Indentured servitude has been abolished except for those that have been duly convicted of a felony. Indentured servitude is a slave, right? And so the only people that it haven't been abolished for is people that have a felony conviction. You see. And so you got all of these people that's able to walk around you with firearms, walk around you with stuff that makes it easier for them to take your life, but you're not allowed to have a firearm in order to protect your life. And when you are in a position to where you're actually in a literal war zone, you know, yeah, you have to take in consideration the public safety, but at what point do you stop taking into consideration the individual safety? Does that mean that because you have a felony that you cannot ever protect yourself? Does that mean because you have a felony that you no longer have the right to liberty, peace, and happiness and justice because you have a felony? It doesn't make sense. And so you can't expect a person in their right mind unless they removed all the way away from it. You know, they done left their whole state. You know, and even if they left their whole state, that's because when they become most vulnerable, because it tells us that when we sleep on a bed of straw, then we sleep in security because we know that we sleeping on hard things. We know we expect for stuff to be sticking in our back. But when you sleep on a bed of roses, then that's where you're supposed to beware. Because the roses is soft, you know, but they got those thorns that's poking the hell out of you. And that's when you have to be aware when things look rosy, when it looks like you are in a position of safety. So I ain't gonna hold y'all too long, but let's get over to this THF um, Trigger Happy Family 2 pistols. So the brother got killed a couple of days ago, few days ago, and you have so many. And I'm man, listen, this is entertainment and all of that, and I get it, but you be having so many people that's not steppers You know, you could be street, but just because you're a street, that don't mean you a stepper, you know. And so it always amazes me when people who are not steppers call themselves providing what the rules is when someone is out there stepping. Let me get let me give y'all the harsh reality. The harsh reality is it really ain't no rules to that. You know, when people talk about you supposed to get a pass up under these circumstances, you supposed to get a pass up under those circumstances, ain't no passes. What are you talking about? Not for no stepper, ain't no passes. And a lot of times what people tend to use as they as their point of reference is the movie Scarface. And they said, well, he wouldn't kill the people with the women and kids, but okay, you remember in the part when he was in the car. What you need to do is remember the part at the end of the movie. You see, because he didn't do that, that's what got him killed. You know, of course, the drugs and all of that took away his alertness. But when he didn't carry out that mission, that's what got him killed. Because at the end of the day, the mission is the mission. And really, you know, if you really want to look at the people that whoever it is that did it, and you would talk about how cold they was, how heartless they was, and that the family was around and things of that nature, but those people let that family live. You know, most people that stepping, if it's somebody that's able to identify them, if it's somebody that's able to be a witness, it's lights out. It's over with, you know. So they left a witness there. They left three witnesses there. And yeah, these people gonna have trauma and they're gonna have to get all kind of counseling, and it's sad, it's always sad, but you can't when are you in a position to give steppers the rule to stepping and you ain't no stepper, you know. Let's not be let's not be naive about this situations. Ain't no rules to that. You know, it's fortunate, it's a blessing. That is the blessing. The blessing is that they didn't get killed. You see? But in normal circumstances like that, they probably would have got bust out. They probably would have lost their life as well because they are now potential witnesses. You see? Um, we the only ones that lose as a community when things like this continue to occur. But let's look for a second. Let's take a look and see why did this even come about. Let's look at that. Let's see why did this even come about? How did we find ourselves at this place right now? How did we find ourselves here? Let's go. We gonna let's go here. Um let's look at this video. This is the most famous thing from this brother. Let's take a look at it, and the reason why I want to take a look at it is because yeah, y'all might watch the other people and all of this and that, but I'm not gonna let you allow you to escape reality. We talking about causes and effect, and that's not even to say that why he got killed was a result of this video. It could have been some type of deal that he had that went wrong. I don't know, and I'm not trying to prove it. That's not what this channel is. But let's look at the video and let me explain to you about passes, or this false notion of passes that a lot of you have.
Bus stop, by that bus stop, by that bus stop. Get your ass found like your homie by that bus stop. THF shit, man. By that bus stop. Y'all know how that is. Bus stop, by that bus stop. Gang. So where it's found, like your homie by that bus stop. Y'all know what happened at that bus stop, man. By that bus stop, by that bus stop. That why? By that bus stop. Gang. Oh, 06, that's where I'm from. No, I can't switch up on my block. Got some niggas up in heaven, some got time up in that box. And we on box, we up in glizzies. Don't care who you is or not. We letting off shots. Bitch, THF, we hot. And I'm on 44, that's my second block. Put my bros before these hoes, these bitches fucking with the ops. Spreading rumors, I was shooting niggas, talking to the cops. 12 looking for me, cause they know I'm hot. Bitch, THF, we hot. The ops, they be snitching on my block. Buckshot, him and Bob, got them jocks ready to spark. I spot a opposite man down, get them going, it's no problem. And my guys, they walking up, we don't blow up out them cars. Having dreams about car, bro going and hurt my.
All right, well, I gotta intervene here, because I gotta talk over this track. But the song ain't even. I mean, it's 8 years ago. The song, the highlight of the song is the diss for people that got killed at this particular bus stop. That's the height. That's the height of the song. You know, that's not no pass for the family of the people that had to listen to the song and listen to the video. Whoever it is that got killed, if they had children, that's not a pass for their children. You know, that's not a pass for the mothers and the fathers of these people that got killed at this bus stop. And I'm not here to say that, I don't have no dog in this fight. Well, let me take that away. I don't have no dog in this fight, but I got gods in this fight, and that's both of them. I got a nation in this fight, and that's both of them. I got a people in this fight, and that's both of them. But ain't no passes given there. And so why would you think that it'd be passes given in other circumstances? I even heard one YouTuber say, well, they could have just beat him up. They could have just probably broke his leg or something. Are you really serious? Are you serious? The reason why people get murked is because the people that murk them want to make sure that this ain't no beef that's going to keep coming back. At least not with this individual, not his mans or whoever might try to get back, but this individual ain't getting back. And so here's what the news will do. The news will put this up and they'll be like, oh, these people are so savage. But at the same time, the country is dropping ton bombs on countries. They're dropping bombs all over the place. They're paying all of this money where thousands and thousands of people has been killed with the weapons that they supply. But they'll look at this incident and they will call them savages, but not calling the massive killings and the massive killers savages. They just say that's governmental business, governmental affairs, right? So, man, listen. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to what it is that we're willing to do with each other and what it is that we're willing to do for each other. I can't tell you, I'm not going to be an instrument used to rock nobody to sleep. What it teaches us is he who has been an enemy cannot be a friend because man does not mend their foes. Does not mend their faults. My biggest fear, I thought, doing my murder bit, it really wasn't a fear, but my biggest concern is, man, how can I really, really, really change if the person that I murdered got a child, and if their child was thinking like I was thinking, they want revenge. So how can I really change? That's a quagmire right there. And it requires a deeper understanding. It requires at some point some type of truth, some type of understanding to where we looking at, man, we got a bigger fight that if we don't fight together, then we out of there. And it's coming. It's coming sooner than you think. Until next time, man. This has been Gangster Astrology and Rap Beef. Deuces. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Deuces.